A low, persistent vibration haunts thousands of people around the world. It appears without warning, refuses to fade, and leaves no clear trace of its origin. This is the hum, a global acoustic mystery that challenges science, unsettles communities, and defies simple explanation. For those who hear it, the sound is impossible to ignore. For those who do not, the accounts seem almost unreal. Yet the phenomenon is documented across continents, cultures, and decades, forming a puzzle that deepens every year. It begins as a faint rumble, often compared to an idling engine in the distance. But there is no machine, no traffic, and no obvious source. The hum can linger for hours or surge suddenly in short bursts, always low frequency, always on the edge of perception. Reports describe it as more felt than heard, a vibration that resonates within walls, furniture, and even the human body. Many claim it grows stronger at night, when ordinary noise fades and its presence becomes unmistakable. One of the earliest modern clusters of reports emerged in the 1970s, when residents of Bristol in the United Kingdom complained of a puzzling low-frequency noise that persisted for months. Investigators deployed sensitive equipment across the city, but failed to identify any consistent industrial or mechanical source. The anomaly became known as the Bristol hum. From that moment, similar cases began to surface in other countries: Taos, New Mexico; Windsor, Ontario; Auckland, New Zealand; Largs, Scotland. Each community told a similar story: a persistent, low-frequency sound heard by some and ignored entirely by others. Studies estimate that only about 2 to 5% of local populations perceive it, forming an unusual divide between hearers and non-hearers. Researchers proposed industrial explanations first. Factories, ventilation systems, distant engines, and heavy machinery can generate low-frequency noise that travels farther than higher-pitched sounds. Yet in many hum hotspots, industrial operations were too distant or too intermittent to match the reports. In some cases, factories were shut down temporarily, but the hum continued without interruption. Other theories focused on natural processes: ocean waves, undersea volcanic activity, seismic microtremors, and atmospheric patterns can all produce low-frequency vibrations. Scientists know that the Earth is constantly vibrating in ways imperceptible to most people, but these natural sources tend to be global and consistent, while the hum appears scattered, localized, and irregular. Another idea suggests that power lines and electrical infrastructure could generate low-frequency electromagnetic fields or vibrations that translate into audible hums. Again, the evidence is mixed. While certain electrical systems do produce faint tones, they rarely match the intensity or geographic range described in hum reports. Some researchers propose that the hum might not be external at all. Human hearing, especially in the low-frequency range, is influenced by factors such as ear structure, circulation, and neurological activity. Under this theory, the hum is an internal physiological perception that only some individuals experience. But this raises the question of why clusters of unrelated people in specific regions report the same phenomenon at the same time. Environmental explanations remain the most widely studied, yet none fully account for all patterns. The hum's selective audibility, geographic clustering, and often unpredictable nature continue to resist conventional analysis. At the height of public interest in several regions, scientists deployed specialized microphones and vibration sensors designed to capture extremely low frequencies. These instruments often detected background noise, but not the distinct oscillations described by hearers. If the hum were a constant, measurable signal in the environment, microphones should record it. Their failure to do so introduces one of the most perplexing dimensions of the mystery. Some researchers argue that this absence of data supports the idea of human auditory sensitivity as the source. Others counter that the hum may involve frequencies or resonances that are difficult for standard equipment to capture, especially if they fall near the threshold between audible sound and vibration. Sociological studies add another layer. Once media coverage increases in a region, reports of the hum often rise. This pattern suggests a psychological component, yet it cannot fully explain the long-term cases in communities that documented the hum before receiving outside attention. People who hear the hum describe significant life disruptions. Insomnia is common. Some report headaches or a sense of pressure in the ears. Others experience heightened anxiety, not from the sound itself, but from the uncertainty it creates. Many find it impossible to escape, since the hum often follows them indoors, even into isolated rural areas. Despite these challenges, hearers consistently report that the phenomenon is real, persistent, and unaffected by lifestyle or location changes. If you enjoy stories like this, consider subscribing for more. Governments have occasionally attempted investigations. In Taos, New Mexico, a team of acoustics experts, physicists, and environmental scientists conducted a study in the 1990s. They found no definitive source, though they acknowledged that low-frequency industrial noise could not be entirely ruled out. In Windsor, Ontario, researchers monitored acoustic data for years, eventually linking some episodes to vibrations generated by blast furnaces on an industrial island across the river. Yet even there, not all reports matched industrial activity, leaving parts of the mystery unresolved. These partial explanations highlight an important distinction. The hum may not be a single phenomenon. Instead, it might be a collection of different low-frequency events, each arising from different sources but perceived in similar ways. This possibility reduces the need for a universal explanation, but it complicates the search for definitive answers. Even within individual regions, reports vary. Some describe a pulsing rhythm, others a steady drone. Some say it grows louder over time, while others claim it fades unpredictably. A common thread is that the hum rarely resembles a natural environmental sound. Instead, it carries a mechanical quality, as if produced by a hidden engine or industrial system. Low-frequency sound behaves differently from ordinary noise. It travels long distances with minimal loss of strength, bends around obstacles, and penetrates walls with ease. This behavior makes it difficult to pinpoint sources. A machine miles away can produce a detectable vibration, while a nearby generator might be inaudible. These properties lead some experts to suspect a combination of distant industry, atmospheric conditions, and local geography. Under specific circumstances, these factors could amplify background noise, making it audible only to certain people. But this model has limits. It does not explain why some regions experience long periods of silence before the hum suddenly emerges. Nor does it account for cases where industrial operations have ceased, yet the hum persists unchanged. Another area of debate involves infrasound, which refers to frequencies below the range of human hearing. Though inaudible, infrasound can sometimes create sensations of pressure or vibration. Natural sources include storms, ocean waves, and earthquakes. Human-made sources include turbines, engines, and large ventilation systems. Some researchers propose that subtle interactions between infrasound and human hearing might produce audible effects in certain individuals. This remains speculative, but highlights how little is understood about the edge of human perception. Psychological explanations are also explored carefully. The brain is highly skilled at detecting patterns and assigning meaning to ambiguous stimuli. In rare cases, internal bodily sounds can be misinterpreted as external noise. Conditions such as tinnitus can produce tones, though tinnitus typically manifests as high-frequency ringing rather than a low-frequency hum. Hearers often reject this explanation, insisting that the sound clearly originates outside the body. Still, medical and psychological factors cannot be dismissed entirely. The hum may represent a complex interplay between environmental stimuli and individual sensitivity. What makes the hum particularly compelling is its global spread. Reports surface in quiet villages, bustling cities, coastal towns, and remote regions far from heavy industry. The phenomenon transcends language and culture, emerging independently in communities that have no awareness of similar cases elsewhere. Patterns exist, but they are inconsistent. Some clusters last months, others decades. Some fade abruptly. Others continue despite years of investigation. The hum occupies a space between the explainable and the elusive. It is studied by scientists, documented by citizens, and debated by skeptics, yet it remains without a single clear answer. The mystery thrives because it sits at the intersection of physics, psychology, geography, and human perception. Each explanation covers only part of the picture, leaving gaps that fuel ongoing research and speculation. Whether the hum is a natural vibration of the earth, an artifact of modern infrastructure, a product of human sensitivity, or a combination of many factors, it represents a reminder of how much remains unknown in the environments we inhabit. For those who hear it, the world contains an undercurrent of sound that others never notice. For those who do not, the phenomenon forces a consideration of how differently people can perceive the same shared world. The hum continues to echo across communities, unresolved and persistent, waiting for an explanation that can unite the scattered pieces of its enduring mystery.